the strings louder.
So I picked up these, they're square G6 wheels. They're 18 by 9.5 plus 12 offset with the 4-lug. One of my buddies had them for sale, and when I seen them, I was like, oh, that's not too bad. So this thing definitely needed some wheels to actually make it look nice. I know the sleeper look is kind of interesting, but I definitely wanted a set of nice wheels for it too. So I'm not sure, you know, if they'll be going on and off there or what. But yeah, here in Colorado, they just kind of announced our drift schedule. There's going to be, I think, like 8 or 10 events throughout the whole season. So that's pretty cool. Excited for that. The first event is in March. I think it's March 14th or something like that, or March 13th. I don't even know. I'd have to look at it again. But so if we don't have this guy ready by then, I'm gonna, you know, basically just do the 1J car at that, kind of go play around. But hopefully I'll at least have this thing running and moving and stuff. And I'd like to be able to drive it. Definitely want to see how this whole factory turbo setup's gonna do, and hopefully they don't blow up, so I don't have to spend all the money to upgrade to a big single, because just doing that alone is almost more money than what I have in the whole thing as it is, you know, now. So basically be doubling what I have into it. And but yeah, if I'm gonna go big single with that in a little while, I'm probably gonna have to sell this guy, you know, to make this guy more awesome. But we'll see. Hopefully not. Alright, so we're at the Walmart, a random Walmart in America, and I decided I'm gonna try and buy something and do something with it, but I'm not sure exactly what's gonna happen with it. Any second now, it should be coming around the corner. What do you guys think it is? Either that, or I already told you in the description. Either that, or it's a piece of shit, and I'm not gonna show anybody. Blake, what is it?
I don't know.
You don't know what it is?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is either. When do you think it'll be here?
A piece of shit.
It's probably gonna be a bigger piece of shit than what I thought. Like
It looks good in pictures though.
That's exactly how everything is though. It's like, especially this thing, because it's got a salvage title, and he bought it at an auction, and he fixed it, and he sold it, or he's selling it. So like that's like number one. You know it's gonna be dicked, and it's on it. Uh-oh. What is it? Son of a bitch. The one that got away. So anyhow, it's like I said, it you know, piece of shit. It's pretty much all the body work on it. I'll throw some pictures in here, but you pretty much tell exactly where all the body work was done on it, just because everywhere there was work done, there was a crack, you know, in the filler. And the whole car had been resprayed. The paint actually looked decent on it. You know, there was a few little dirt nibs and stuff like that in it that you could have taken out, but you know, overall, pretty much you ought to had to redo absolutely the whole car to actually be happy with it. You know, I mean, as a drift car, it wouldn't have been bad. You know, it actually been a decent drift car, but you know, for the money that he wanted, and you know, the work that I would have had to do to it, I would have had to do some other stuff to it. You know, airbag light was on, the check engine light was on, ABS light was on, you know, all them little, you know, had like a little Christmas tree in the dash. It didn't rev over 4,500 RPMs. I'm not sure, you know, probably some fail-safe mode or some shit, you know, that was up with the ECU. But so decided not to get it. He's gonna be here for another month or so. He said before he like really needs to sell it, so he said he'll let me know. if you know, if he'd be willing to make me a hell of a deal on it. But you know, at the price it was at, it just wasn't worth it to me to, you know, to get it, you know, because I wanted something that I could actually do the work on, and I could, you know that it was, you know, structurally sound and stuff. He didn't have any pictures of it from when he actually bought it. So, but there's a first attempt. We'll see if we can find one here soon. I'm kind of been looking for those for a little while, and I think that'd be a fun little project, you know. But yeah. All right, so today what I'm doing is for the power steering pump on the JZs, there's it uses the AC bracket as like a holder, you know, to like tell it what up, or to you know, I'm not sure if it goes like that, or if it goes, nope, it goes like this. So basically what I'm doing is I'm making a little bracket from here to here, because over here on the spare JZ, you can see you gotta have a little thing to kind of take up the space in that, and then go down here, and then, you know, take up a little bit of that space as well. So I'm going to make a little thing, and maybe I might triangle it over to this guy too, because that needs a bolt in it for the, you know, my 240 over there. Little guy's a little spacer, so we're gonna see how that works. Have some paint shit in that. I don't want it to catch on fire. What'd you do with the tape measure?
Me?
Yeah. Oh, right there. That's fine.
You ready?
There's no light over there.
Sounded like it was a dope weld.
Yeah.
Like me. No, super chilly, dude.
Kind of ugly on the front side just because I couldn't see what the hell was going on, but I'm just going to grab the little grinder and grind that flat on the back. But, you know, seems like it'll be nice. I thought about coming over to this guy right here and kind of triangling it up, but I don't know if I'm even going to do that. So hot.
I feel it. Look at them welds though. Look at them. That's dope.
Jesse's point of view, huh? Maybe that'd be a good angle, huh? You just follow me around the shop? That'd be dope.
People are just like looking at you third person, dude. Third person. Third person human steady cam.
Are you pretty steady?
Head cams are pretty steady on you because you're moving around. Huh. They look fine. Don't burn your don't burn yourself. Just freaking put it in a thing of water or something. Or some Earl. Some Earl.
Look at that. Brand new. Dude, the internet's gonna see what you're texting.
Yeah, you gotta see it.
Did you put your password in and everything?
Maybe.
I think it's got a major boost leak somewhere.
Doesn't seem like it has a boost leak.
Yeah, but it's like 10 OAFR. Like the whole time, you know?
Yeah. That's true. Bud, did the tire pop? There's like something leaking out of here. Oh, it's just water, I think. Is that water? That's fucking dope, man. What is that? That is water, isn't it? Did it dick the wheel?
I guess that's why you don't fucking drift on tires.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so this, ladies and gentlemen, was why you don't, I guess, drift on stretched ass tires. Bastard. There's some tension on that shit.
Dick anything?
Doesn't look like it.
Seems okay.
You lesson learned, I ain't gonna be doing that shit again. Or at least I'm gonna inflate them more or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
How much was actually, you know, how much air was actually in them? I never checked. But watch your feet.
There you go.
Looks like we're going to a drift event.
Yeah, exactly. In the parking lot.
Alright, so I got the S14 back on the lift. I was doing a few things on my buddy's car, that BMW. He doing all kinds of maintenance. I don't know what the hell is up with those things. They're so expensive. But I just kind of wanted to show you guys, you know, when I did the steering rack relocation or whatever with the new rack, you could kind of see in there. But I guess kind of, you know, answer some questions or explain a little bit of stuff. The over centering is kind of the issue that that you get, and you can see right here the way my knuckles are. You could see they actually go above the control arm. So if this was like notched, you know, that's kind of how they'd go. So I'd kind of have, you know, a lot of angle. Whereas like right here, you know, is where they'd kind of sit, which isn't you know, still isn't too bad. These are the knuckles that I cut and welded like, you know, 3 years ago, and I've just been drifting on ever since. I didn't really put too much thought into them. I just cut an inch out of them and re-welded them. So they're kind of, they still have some decent Ackerman to them. And what Ackerman is how much the front or how much the lead wheel is like pointing this way compared to the trailing wheel. So this one, you can see it's not, doesn't have that much angle compared to the other one. It's kind of scrubbing a little bit, but you know, when you're full sideways. But you can definitely see the it's kind of hard to see with this guy with my, but you can see how straight the actual rack is, you know, compared to the tie rod in. But if you get over here, you could really see it and you could feel it on the steering wheel. So like right here on the steering wheel, it's just really tight, you know, like you gotta fight that son of a bitch, you know, to get it back, you know, and then you could watch it and then it just kind of pops. So you can see where it just kind of like, it goes and then it just like kind of like falls, you know, kind of in kind of a shitty zone where the basically the steering rack isn't pushing it. You know, it doesn't matter how far it pushes it, because it's not doing anything to it anymore. It basically, because the angle of it, you know, it just falls over, and you could see how the angle of it changes, you know, and as it gets closer. So anyhow, that's kind of one of the reasons why you relocate the rack and move it, you know, forward. Because if I didn't have that, that would basically over center like a lot sooner, you know, and have a lot shittier steering feel. When I redo my knuckles, I'm going to do kind of the little thing where you go lower. I'm going to run a lot less Ackerman on them, so that both wheels will be kind of more so parallel to each other when I'm drifting, versus kind of scrub one, you know, the trailing wheel kind of scrubbing the ground. And so yeah, these lower control arms are extended about 2 3/4 inches, which seems to work pretty good. And I don't rub any of that stuff, you know, on this other side. A lot of guys, they have trouble rubbing the tension rods right there, and you can see I'm nowhere near it. So that means I don't have enough angle, is pretty much what I figured out. So yeah, that, you know, when I redo my knuckles, see, I could actually show you guys a little bit of it over here. Some power stroke injectors in the way. Here's another set of S14 knuckles. I think I already cut it down. No, I didn't. So that's factory. Right there's factory. So what I'm gonna do is set this guy underneath it and basically put it right there. So I'm gonna take basically that whole section out, and instead of having the Ackerman, you know, over here, I'm gonna put it like right there. And that's what I'm gonna do for my next set of knuckles, so that, you know, the difference between the wheels is very minute. You know, there'll be less Ackerman with it, so it'll basically drift faster. Because this one, damn it, if it would focus, you can see all the angles. Nope, come on, focus. Okay, so you can see all the angle. You can see this one, it's not as much. So that's basically, this one's kind of scrubbing the ground as you drift. I went ahead and I robbed the aluminum pulley off of the spare JZ, put on the serpentine belt. I got my power steering high pressure line from Drift Motion. I got that, went ahead and just decided to stick that on. I have the high pressure, or the clutch line. I still need to install the clutch master, because I had the Sicky one, or not the Sicky, the Willwood one for the T56 when I had the LS in here. So, but kind of doing a few little things that I can, at least, while I'm waiting for some more parts. So now I'm just kind of looking at how intercoolers fit in here. I had this little core kind of sitting around. I forgot even what the hell or where I got it from. But yeah, I kind of like the way it fits in there. It, you know, kind of takes up that whole space, but might take up, you know, too much of the radiator. You know, maybe if I had one that came up to about right there, or went down to about right there instead of having all that right there. But you know, and then I'm gonna get rid of this radiator. I'm gonna do something a little bit better. I'd like to get something like a Koyo or something a little bit higher quality. This is just an eBay one I had laying around, you know, just for fitment and stuff. You can see right here the fitment on there. Previously, when I had the 1J in here, I was trying to fit one of those PBM high mount or mid mount intercoolers, and I had to cut this to get it to kind of fit right there. And but yeah, I decided that, you know, an intercooler like this should work pretty good because it's about as wide as the radiator. Be able to move this wiring and get like a super tight 90 to go in there, and maybe even if I push the headlight forward, I might be able to get it, or just delete this whole, you know, segment of the headlight and take out the high beams and just have only low beams. And it'd almost be kind of cool to like put a hole there basically and kind of run like a duct, you know, just so it gets a little bit more airflow. You could have like a little duct that kind of, you know, went in and went towards the radiator and intercooler and stuff, versus just being a, you know, big blockage. Or maybe into an air filter. That would actually be pretty cool too. You know, have the air filter up here, kind of have it just so it brings fresh air into the engine bay for there as well. But yeah, so I'm just, you know, trying to figure out what exactly I need to order. This is some factory intercooler piping off I think JZX 100, or no, not JZX, I think they're Risto over there in Japan, and that's about a 2.5 inch thing. I think that's 2 3/4 or 3 inch. But you can see basically you'd have to just do a 90 and do another 90 and then just kind of go from there. So that wouldn't be too bad. I really do wish I had a TIG welder. That's going to be on my to purchase list. I you know, always kind of wanted to dick with fabricating and messing with stuff like that, especially, you know, like aluminum and you know, stainless steel for exhausts, and just be able to tinker with stuff, you know, here and there, and actually have it turn out real nice. You know, doing stuff with the MIGs, all right. But you can see my little bracket I got down in there. It works pretty good. But yeah, so that's I think that's about it for this episode. Sorry it's not too lengthy. You know, had the whole little mishap with the 1J car and these stupid stretch tires. I haven't checked the pressure in them, but you could see how stretched, kind of stretched they are. Yeah, 215/35 on a 9.5. Somebody was commenting on my Instagram and telling me that they you know, probably needed more tire pressure, which is probably true. But I never even checked them, so that's probably going to be the issue. So hopefully this tire didn't get too dicked, and you know, the rims get a little gouged on the ends, but nothing too crazy. Should, you know, still be you know, enough to drive on and stuff. But yeah, this thing's been leaking like a dirty bastard. I don't know what the hell. Yeah, you can see down there. It's a little wee spot that it leaves everywhere. I'm thinking it needs these the cam journal seals, or the cam seals right there. While I'm at it, I'll probably get the gear. There's like an O-ring in there that you're supposed to rebuild, and then, you know, the seals right there. I don't think the front main seal is leaking, but I might get one of those as well as a new timing belt. You know, because this one's kind of getting, you know, probably the original one. So about time to do that, and you know, so have to do a little bit of general maintenance on this thing, clean up a few of the things. I definitely want to get rid of these valve covers. I've been talking about that for a while. I think maybe what might be leaking back here, because it's been leaking coolant too, is this that little situation I got going on there. because they deleted the factory oil cooler on this, you know, and I robbed because they put the drift motion oil cooler on it, but I robbed that for the 2J, but they had this cut off and capped because this normally is a hard metal line that goes around there into the factory oil cooler. So that's kind of dicked. It you know, leaks and drips and does a bunch of stuff like that. That's why I haven't really been driving it around, and I just pretty much pull it out for some donuts here and there. Oh, and the fact that it doesn't have coilovers on it yet. Still trying to decide what I'm doing with those, but yeah, thanks for watching. Sorry this one was a little bit shorter, and you know, what do you guys think of me staying 2J? I know everybody was all excited about the F22, which would have been pretty cool too, but you know, this 2J I think it's gonna be badass. The F22, actually, after sitting it in there, you know, like I said in the last video, it's pretty exciting, you know, seeing how far back it actually sat in there compared to this thing. You can just tell this thing's a big heavy brute, you know, with the cast iron, everything, big old turbo, or not big turbos, but you know, turbos, and you know, heavy shit everywhere. But yeah, another thing is I'm just trying to keep this whole thing just as simple as I possibly can. I'm not trying to go, you know, super crazy with like relocating the radiator to the back or doing anything like that. Yokoi, the guy from Japan, he was in FD this last season. He was in an S14, had 2J VVTi in it, and I think it was a stroker, but it's putting down almost 1,000 horse, and he had radiator in the front and intercooler in the front, and the only thing he really did is he sprayed his intercooler and his radiator with water. So that's probably a similar situation that I'm going to end up doing as well, is just run a water tank, spray the intercooler and the radiator as well, and just try to keep it simple. Like I said, I'm trying not to spend a shitload of money on this thing. I already spent, you know, more than I technically wanted to, or you know, more than anybody wants to on parts for now. But yeah, so I'm just waiting on figuring out some stuff, intercooler piping, and tranny mount and a drive shaft. And I should, after I wire it, like I said, I was going to do like an IS 300 and just put the ECU in the engine bay for now until I get a full standalone, and then after that, you know, it'll be big turbo and a bunch of crazy stuff after that. But for now, we're going to keep it simple. So, but yeah, thanks for watching.